Let's watch a CNN panel as they further discuss the rise of the establishment and oligarchic control that we are seeing under Donald Trump as billionaires are further taking control of more power in our federal government and consolidating that around Donald Trump. Hey you, yes, you! We now have a Substack website where you can help support the channel. For just $8 a month, you can get daily articles exposing the chaos in Trump's first 100 days, a weekly podcast, and other exclusive perks, all while helping the channel grow and defend democracy. This is something that's not just very important to me, but enables us to get our message out to the most amount of people while also being just a genuine passion that I would love to pursue. So for those who have been wondering how to support the channel, how to help us grow, you can sign up now at the first link in our description. Thank you, and let's get back to the video.
Respectfully, Congresswoman, it was his aides who sent notices today to USAID saying don't come to work. And I hear your point about cutting spending and everything. And look, I'm not going to die on a hill that says that these agencies don't have some frivolous spending that we need to rein in. But the fact is, do you know, sitting here today, that Elon Musk and his aides do not have access to my Social Security number? You don't know that. And that is troublesome because as a member of Congress, you should know that. But what we do know is he went into Treasury. He locked people out. He fired individuals, and now Elon Musk and his aides, and this is not a partisan attack by any stretch. This is, look, I deserve to know where my information is and why someone who is unelected, we don't even know what his job title is.
So why is it, that's an important question. Why is it, Scott, that Elon Musk claims that it is a crime to tweet out the names of the 6 individuals who I have to assume are government employees? Maybe they're not.
And remember how evil all of MAGA wanted you to believe that bureaucrats are, and they would pretend that they're these heinous figures when it would aid them in convincing you to disband like Social Security or Medicare, right? But then they see no issue with these unelected bureaucrats when it's the richest man in the world seizing control of multiple agencies, including the Treasury, the system that cuts our checks. And as Bakari said, could have access to sensitive data as far as potentially having Social Security numbers, all as, again, unelected, unconfirmed by Congress, unhired by a position confirmed by Congress, not even in an agency that was funded by Congress or implemented through Congress, and working well out of the bounds of legality, only to be bolstered by Trump being free from official acts, now attempting to seize control of the Treasury Department, the USAID. I mean, where is it going to stop? OPM, because of how it furthers democracy. Like, what is the argument here? I think his problem with the USAID is possibly because it's hindered Putin's influence in Russia and it helped dismantle apartheid in South Africa, 2 things Elon hates to see eradicated.
These are people who are doing things that affect Americans. They're working in the government.
Well,
I don't see why it needs to be a secret.
They're doing things that affect the bureaucracy, which is why you see all the rage today.
You don't think that this stuff affects Americans, Scott?
I mean, yeah, probably in a positive way. And I'm glad to see Democrats are coming around to the idea that the unelected people who might be involved in the running of our country are important, because you seem to have no interest in that for the last 4 years under the last administration. Here's the bottom line. You know what that means is that you had a president who was not functional, and you know it.
We're talking about Biden. Okay.
Actually, by that same token, I mean, if you're concerned about the people around Joe Biden running the government, why aren't you concerned about?
Because I don't have any concern that this president is functional.
I love that MAGA is trying to paint the installation of rich bureaucrats, essentially an oligarchy, as an attack against bureaucracy. Like, how does anyone fall for this? They're literally like, oh, well, the guy who works for Social Security, who has been blue collar most of his life, whose parents relied on Social Security, who doesn't have the stature, influence, or financial ability to impose control or power over any elected officials, he's evil and he's out of touch and wasn't even elected, so we have to hate him, and that's the reason we need to disband Social Security and Medicare and blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, we'll fix that by having these super rich, unelected people who have never worked a real job in their day replace them, all of which also who have the stature, the financial ability, and the means to impose actual power and control over even elected officials. MAGA is so populist until it comes down to actually being populist. I love that, one, they pretend lefties are dumb and get everything wrong, but then steal our rhetoric and then don't even know what it means. I posted this screenshot in my community of, hey, MAGA, what does the establishment mean? Literally not a single Republican got it right. They're like, well, it's this and this, and they're posting like Wikipedia definition. Like, these people are so hilarious. It's like, how can we take you serious when you're saying things that you have no idea what they mean, and then your defense for saying them is, well, I Wikipedia'd it. I looked it up on Wikipedia, despite when Wikipedia says things that Elon Musk doesn't agree with. It's Wokepedia, and we have to defund and destroy. It's literally like these people have no idea of anything they're talking about. And that's why they're cheering on fascism while pretending to be against it the last 4 years, because they just want red. That's it. They want Republicans to win. They want selfish ideologies to be spread.
Cassidy wants to know why clinics in Africa are not getting the drugs that USAID provides. Jerry Moran is wondering why there's American food rotting in ports of entry. And Tom Tillis says, if you just shut down every program in there, I think it's a mistake and it will have policy and political consequences. But that's exactly what Elon Musk did. He shut USAID down.
Well, first of all, going back to the transparency, you have not had a more transparent president than President Donald Trump. Every executive order, every conversation he has with a world leader, there is a printout, it is on social media, and we are learning what's going on in real time.
When did he say that he's shutting down USAID, and tell us why he's doing it?
One more point I have to add to this discussion is I would love to know the bureaucratic overreach in the Biden administration that could even kind of match up to Elon Musk seizing control of multiple agencies, where democratically elected Congress members are being blocked from entering these agency buildings by unelected bureaucrats and aides from Elon Musk. I would love MAGA to name one instance that even kind of measures up on the Biden side. And on top of that, Elon is also censoring accounts on Twitter that name or show who the aides are that Elon is having do this, literally trying to have it be faceless, unelected rich fucks who are pulling the strings behind the scene. USAID is the agency that provides humanitarian and assistance around the world, while also having or helping to spread the message of democracy into war-torn countries or those trying to rebuild. Also, strategically ensuring our allies are able to grow economically helps us downstream. But I know MAGA can't really think outside of a binary, one of the downsides of like 70 IQ. Over 2/3 of our largest, or of the growth we've seen in exports, have been to USAID partners, especially in the last 10 years. As these countries gain more wealth, they want to buy more US exports. This gives us more money. This growth in exports is largely what can be attributed to pulling us out of the most recent recession. It was instrumental again in helping end apartheid in South Africa, has made gains in pulling from Putin's influence in Russia until it was ended. They've been pivotal in thwarting outbreaks and disease in Gaza. It seems by all accounts, because USAID often defends the little guy from the big guy, the small country chasing sovereignty from the autocratic dictator of the larger country, is the reason for Trump and Musk to want to thwart it. They're really trying to push this autocratic international standard where they're going to up countries that are autocrats with dictators. That way they can form the United States to more so fit this mold and be like, it's the norm. No other country does it.